hands on trying to get there so crazy to me, I fight back. New rule.
Nah.
New code.
I told
I fight back now.
I ain't gonna do that.
I'm
You
just
might
like,
gonna get it though.
no, I'm not. No, I'm
The
not.
shot step.
No, I'm not.
Shot come.
I
Hey, the
shoot
shot
back.
come. The
Actually, I
shot
shoot first. I have a better record than shooting.
2025, I'm Beyonce. I'm not responding to a thing. 2025 comes.
The conflict between Remy and Claressa Shields escalated to a new level when Claressa Shields showed up at Papoose and Remy's house ready to attack Remy after learning that she had had someone add illegal chemicals to her drinks before her altercation with Danielle Perkins, which may have resulted in her disqualification and a permanent suspension in the unsightly court on the street. Claressa Shields apparently pleaded with Pipo to stop abusing Remy because she wanted her daughter to box, and it would be disastrous if she lost her license. If you haven't been paying attention, take a seat and listen. This year, when it was revealed that Remy Ma and Papoose were no longer together, the internet went crazy. Months after the whispers began to circulate, some media sites began accusing Remy, Massachusetts of cheating on Papoose with underground battle rapper Easy the Block Captain after an image of him and their daughter vanished. Things took a turn for the worse when it was revealed that Papoose and E were friends and members of the same group. Insiders claimed that Remy was out having a great time without Papoose and was seeing men other than the Black Commander. Even worse, another rapper was somehow connected to her. The internet went crazy when Remy made fun of her for having what seemed to be a polyamorous relationship with these two men. The pair were seen holding hands and flaunting their matching. Even after moving on and finding new love, Papoose remained resolute in his decision to stay silent about his past relationship with Remy. He never agreed to any interviews or discussions regarding their situation, nor did he ever share any personal details online. This discretion, however, was not well received by Remy. She was incensed by Papoose's decision to move forward with someone else and became convinced she was witnessing his new relationship unfold. This suspicion quickly escalated into a full-blown social media frenzy. The drama reached a new height when Remy posted a picture of Papoose with his new girlfriend, along with a scathing remark. She accused him of dozing off while listening to Claressa Shields on the phone, sarcastically stating that this new girlfriend, whom she referred to as Pearl, was worthy of a world boxing championship for her endurance. Remy added that when Claressa heard her voice, she immediately hung up, insinuating there was something to hide. This revelation was meant to imply that Papoose's new relationship was not as smooth as it appeared, and Remy wanted to share her side of the story, claiming that others now understood her perspective. Despite the public outcry, many found Remy's accusations and behavior peculiar, especially considering her own past infidelities. She had cheated on Papoose as well, which made her persistent complaints about his new relationship seem hypocritical to some observers. Nonetheless, Remy persisted, alleging that Claressa Shields and her public relations team were fabricating accusations against her and spreading false information to tarnish her reputation. According to Remy, she had repeatedly urged Papoose to address these rumors publicly to clear the air. However, Papoose believed the best course of action was to remain silent. He felt that engaging in public discourse would only add fuel to the fire and perpetuate the drama. This stance of silence, though, did not sit well with Remy, who felt abandoned and unsupported as the narrative spun out of control online. Remy's frustration was evident as she voiced her dissatisfaction with Papoose's unwillingness to speak up. She felt that his silence allowed false narratives to flourish and left her to fend off public scrutiny on her own. Her calls for Papoose to take a stand were more than just about clearing the air. They were a plea for him to show loyalty and solidarity amidst the storm. The situation reflected the complexities of their past relationship and highlighted the struggles of moving on when personal matters become public spectacle. For Papoose, staying silent was a way to protect his privacy and avoid unnecessary conflict. For Remy, his silence was a betrayal, leaving her feeling isolated and vulnerable to public opinion. The social media frenzy surrounding their drama showcased how deeply personal issues can be magnified and distorted in the public eye. It also shed light on the emotional toll such exposure can have on the individuals involved. While Papoose sought peace through silence, Remy fought for her narrative to be heard, illustrating the divergent ways they handled their shared past. He believed that money couldn't mend a disrespectful relationship and that Maris wasn't being sincere. However, despite the pain, Maris is determined to make a name for himself. He entered the music industry, dropping tracks and attempting to forge a career away from his father's shadow. Maris later disclosed that he had attempted to reach out privately but had struggled because he didn't have his dad's phone number and had been blocked on social media. He wasn't asking for financial support, just an honest heart-to-heart conversation. Although 50 Cent's relationship with his younger kid seems to be stronger, it has also been influenced by the difficulties he has had during all of life's ups and downs, a reminder that even the most successful individuals may have flaws in their personal lives, the 50s family narrative is one of love, betrayal, and the complications that make family connections so difficult to manage. For 50 Cent, run-deep family tales often conceal layers of suffering, happiness, and conflict. His experience as a parent and a son is not unique. In contrast to his tumultuous relationship with his oldest son, Maris, he welcomed his second son, Sire, with Daphne Joy in September 2012. Although their relationship seems to be much closer on the surface, things with Sire's mother, Daphne Joy, have not been easy. In March 2024, Daphne took to social media to accuse 50 of mistreating her, saying that her heart had been broken and that any hope she had left in him as a father had vanished. Although 50 Cent refuted the claims, the public charges at this time escalated their already complex relationship, with accusations circulating about Daphne's participation in adult employment, which she vehemently denied. 50 was allegedly taking steps to acquire exclusive custody of the child. The drama was no longer limited to courtrooms, it was widely publicized. This wasn't the first time their dispute made headlines. In 2013, 50 domestic assault charges were brought against him after he allegedly kicked Daphne and damaged her belongings during an altercation. However, he was able to escape harsher charges by entering a guilty plea to misdemeanor vandalism. 3 years of probation and community service were imposed as a consequence of the event. Despite everything, 50 Cent's focus on his legacy remains unwavering, especially when it comes to his son, who in a recent interview openly stated that his entire wealth will be left to his youngest son. He emphasized that everything he's built will be for Sire to carry forward, and while fans admired his dedication to Sire, many couldn't help but wonder, what about his firstborn son, Maris? This was a clear indication that their tensions were more than just tabloid rumors, they had real-world repercussions. For those who are familiar with the 50s, one of the most dramatic events occurred in 2018 when Mars shared a picture of himself with Kenneth Supreme McGriff's kid. More than simply a moniker, McGriff is associated with a terrible period of the rapper's life. It is said that McGriff was involved in the 2000 shooting that almost claimed 50 lives. It was a turning point for him to witness his son with the kid of someone so directly connected to that incident. As 50 Cent's laser-like focus on creating a future for Sire and his broken relationship with Maris looms in the background left fans wondering if there was any chance for healing. 50's icy comment on the photo made it painfully clear how deep their rift had become. Beneath the headlines and platinum records, however, is the tale of a man shaped by both tragedy and triumph. In addition to being a native of Queens, New York, Curtis Jackson was raised by a single mother who worked tirelessly to provide him with a better life. His mother, Sabrina Jackson, was his everything. She was a hard worker who was prepared to put her kid first, even if it meant venturing into hazardous areas in South Jamaica. She was well known in Queens area for her fortitude and tenacity. Life on the streets came at a price in 1983, but I was making moves in a society that wasn't friendly to women like her. Curtis was just 8 years old when his mother was slain, and officials assumed that someone had poisoned her, rendered her unconscious, and set her flat on fire. Sabrina's life was sadly cut short. Her mysterious death is a lingering mystery that influenced 50 Cent. Even after moving on and finding new love, Papoose remained resolute in his decision to stay silent about his past relationship with Remy. He never agreed to any interviews or discussions regarding their situation, nor did he ever share any personal details online. This discretion, however, was not well received by Remy. She was incensed by Papoose's decision to move forward with someone else and became convinced she was witnessing his new relationship unfold. This suspicion quickly escalated into a full-blown social media frenzy. The drama reached a new height when Remy posted a picture of Papoose with his new girlfriend, along with a scathing remark. She accused him of dozing off while listening to Claressa Shields on the phone, sarcastically stating that this new girlfriend, whom she referred to as Pearl, was worthy of a world boxing championship for her endurance. Remy added that when Claressa heard her voice, she immediately hung up, insinuating there was something to hide. This revelation was meant to imply that Papoose's new relationship was not as smooth as it appeared, and Remy wanted to share her side of the story, claiming that others now understood her perspective. Despite the public outcry, many found Remy's accusations and behavior peculiar, especially considering her own past infidelities. She had cheated on Papoose as well, which made her persistent complaints about his new relationship seem hypocritical to some observers. Nonetheless, Remy persisted, alleging that Claressa Shields and her public relations team were fabricating accusations against her and spreading false information to tarnish her reputation. According to Remy, she had repeatedly urged Papoose to address these rumors publicly to clear the air. However, Papoose believed the best course of action was to remain silent. He felt that engaging in public discourse would only add fuel to the fire and perpetuate the drama. This stance of silence, though, did not sit well with Remy, who felt abandoned and unsupported as the narrative spun out of control online. Remy's frustration was evident as she voiced her dissatisfaction with Papoose's unwillingness to speak up. She felt that his silence allowed false narratives to flourish and left her to fend off public scrutiny on her own. Her calls for Papoose to take a stand were more than just about clearing the air. They were a plea for him to show loyalty and solidarity amidst the storm. The situation reflected the complexities of their past relationship and highlighted the struggles of moving on when personal matters become public spectacle. For Papoose, staying silent was a way to protect his privacy and avoid unnecessary conflict. For Remy, his silence was a betrayal, leaving her feeling isolated and vulnerable to public opinion. In an attempt to publicly get his father's attention, Mares offered $6,700, which was equal to the monthly child support that 50 had paid in exchange for only 1 day of his father's time. Mares said that he just wanted to spend time with his father and that it wasn't about money, but 50Y rejected the idea, stating that social media wouldn't be a genuine effort at reconciliation. In the end, the public saga of Papoose and Remy's relationship became a cautionary tale about the intersection of personal lives and public perception. It highlighted the challenges of navigating love, betrayal, and moving on when every detail is subject to public scrutiny. Both Papoose and Remy learned that silence and speech carry their own burdens, and the path to closure is often fraught with complications, especially under the relentless gaze of social media. He helped shape his attitude to life's obstacles as a youngster and subsequently as a world-renowned figure, but when she died away, little QS was placed in the custody of his grandmother in South Jamaica. Queen's life didn't get any easier. By the time he was 12 years old, he was already working, dealing drugs, and learning how to live on the streets, a path he didn't want to take but felt he had to in order to survive. 50 Cent has never held back when discussing those years. His music and interviews vividly depict a period of arrests, fights, and risky choices, but throughout it all, his grandmother was his rock. "I was my grandmother's baby," he remembers, emphasizing the sharp contrast between his tough exterior on the streets and the boy who had to ask permission to walk home from school. Tensions ran high under one roof, especially with his Aunt Sylvia, who disapproved of Curtis taking her place in the family. Despite this, 50 Cent felt a strong bond with his grandmother and frequently thought she saw his mother's face in his own. This unspoken bond made her love even more profound, but it also carried a weight that he felt every day. The loss of his grandmother years later was more painful than anything 50 had ever experienced, and he recalls being called to the hospital where the entire family was gathered. When he spoke to her, her eyes lit up despite her as he struggled to cope with the ongoing tragedies of losing friends and loved ones to violence, accidents, and addiction. He watched frailty as her heart rate dropped after their brief moment together. His aunt turned to him and said, "She was waiting for you." This was a loss that stayed with him. Fast forward to August 2024, and 50F faced yet another devastating loss. Although family is still the cornerstone of 50 Cent's life, his relationships haven't always been easy. He shared the news on Instagram with a heartfelt post that remembered his grandfather's sacrifices and humor. Even in the hospital during a trying time, his grandfather joked with the nurses, lightening the mood and leaving 50 with a memory he'll never forget. One of the best examples is his relationship with Daphne Joy, the mother of his youngest kid. Their relationship has been difficult, characterized by court cases and public allegations. A defamation lawsuit was filed by 50 Cent after model and actress Daphne accused him of mistreatment in a now-deleted Instagram post in May 2023. The lawsuit claimed that the accusation had harmed 50 Cent's reputation and personal life, particularly his ability to see Sire, even though the post was removed. Daphne's accusations of feeling abused and exacerbated 50 Cent's already tense relationship. It wasn't only about preserving his reputation, it was also about making sure his connection with his kid endured in spite of the turmoil. 50 Cent has long been known for his resilience in the face of hardship, and his commitment to his family is no exception. Despite the battles he's faced, both personally and professionally, he has consistently expressed a deep desire to be a steady presence for his youngest child, Sire. However, his relationship with Sire's mother, Daphne Joy, has been fraught with complications that have spilled into legal disputes. 50 Cent's ongoing lawsuit against Daphne Joy reflects the underlying tension in their relationship, with the rapper accusing her of attempting to not only tarnish his reputation but also keep him away from his son. The drama surrounding 50 Cent and Daphne Joy has been anything but quiet, and Sire, unfortunately, has often found himself in the middle of this turbulent dynamic. Despite the heated exchanges and public accusations, 50 Cent's primary focus has always been on maintaining a connection with his son, even though the circumstances have made that goal increasingly difficult to achieve. In a bid to resolve the matter, 50 Cent made the decision to drop the lawsuit in September 2023, leaving room for the possibility of refiling it at a later date if the situation escalated further. This move seemed like an attempt to step away from the legal drama for the time being, although the underlying tensions between him and Daphne remain palpable. It is unclear whether this decision was made in an effort to de-escalate the situation or as part of a more calculated, long-term strategy. While this particular legal battle appeared to have been momentarily paused, it was far from the only source of conflict in 50 Cent's personal life. His relationship with the mother of his oldest son, Shaniqua Tompkins, has been another source of drama that has spanned over 2 decades. Beginning in the late 1990s, their tumultuous relationship has been marred by public insults, ongoing litigation, and bitter social media exchanges. The animosity between them has grown into an exhausting cycle of accusations and jabs that have played out in the public eye, seemingly without end. In January 2019, the hostility between 50 Cent and Shaniqua was reignited when he took to Instagram to accuse her of spending money from his first international tour on cosmetic surgery rather than investing it in real estate as he had intended. This public accusation opened old wounds, and their already strained relationship spiraled into even greater conflict. 50 Cent's use of social media to air these grievances is not unusual throughout the years. He has often leveraged his online platform to share his personal battles with the world, bringing his followers into the drama that surrounds his family life. Despite the ongoing strife, 50 Cent has shown a level of commitment to his children that contrasts with the bitter public exchanges. His desire to be a present father, especially for Sire, has remained steadfast. However, the complex and often hostile relationships with their mothers have made that role more challenging to navigate. The legal battles, public insults, and personal betrayals have made co-parenting a difficult task, and the toll on his family is clear. These ongoing struggles highlight a deeper issue for 50 Cent: the tension between his public persona as a successful businessman and rapper and the private reality of his personal life, which is fraught with unresolved conflicts. The public nature of these disputes has painted a portrait of 50 Cent as a man torn between his career and his responsibilities as a father. His legal confrontations with Daphne Joy and Shaniqua Tompkins are more than just personal issues. They have become a defining part of his narrative. Each new chapter in his family saga seems to add another layer to his already complex image. As 50 Cent continues to navigate these difficulties, it remains to be seen whether he can find peace within his family while balancing the demands of his career and public life. Ultimately, the conflict with Daphne Joy and Shaniqua Tompkins underscores the complicated realities of celebrity family dynamics. 50 Cent's experience is a stark reminder that, despite success in the public sphere, personal relationships can be fraught with challenges that are not so easily overcome. While he may have dropped the lawsuit for now, the deeper issues remain unresolved, and the emotional toll on his family is far from over. 50 Cent's saga is far from finished, and it seems that, for better or worse, his family's battles will continue to shape his legacy. Their rocky relationship didn't just remain between them, it dragged mayors into the chaos. The custody battle for their son lasted until 2008, long after they split up, by which time their relationship had become a public battleground, and even financial arrangements became a source of contention. Sheena didn't hold back, launching back with a pointed clapback that only served to intensify the feud. The social media frenzy surrounding their drama showcased how deeply personal issues can be magnified and distorted in the public eye. It also shed light on the emotional toll such exposure can have on the individuals involved. While Papoose sought peace through silence, Remy fought for her narrative to be heard, illustrating the divergent ways they handled their shared past. 50 Cent expressed his displeasure on Instagram and suggested that she acquire a real job. Their son, Mares, has attempted to forge his own way despite being caught in the crossfire, and he is accustomed to the public spectacle his parents have created out of their arguments. Sheena clapped back, accusing him of being resentful and saying he was afraid she would reveal his true self. He has definitely been impacted by the poisonous dynamic, and despite his efforts to forge his own identity, it has been difficult to escape the shadow of their dispute in the midst of these family issues. The relationship between 50 Cent and Jameer Haynes, better known as Cuban Link, has also been the focus of public fascination. When the infamously private rapper first appeared with her at the Season 6 premiere of Power, fans were quick to notice their chemistry, and the relationship appeared to start off strong. 50's life has been a combination of incredible highs and intensely personal struggles, from his continuous conflicts with his ex-partners to his resolve to be there for his kids. His tale is one of tenacity, family complexity, and a never-ending battle to balance public success. However, over time, the spark that had everyone talking seemed to fade, leaving fans wondering about the current state of their connection. Due to glimpses of 50 Cent and Cuban Link together on social media, allegations about their relationship started to circulate in 2019 after private strife. Despite the attention, the pair maintained a low-key courtship. When they did share moments, they were usually humorous, as in one Instagram live session. The rumors peaked when 50 appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and humorously confirmed his single status, joking that he was free and had never been married, leaving no doubt that the relationship had ended without specifically mentioning it. 50Y also joked about their first date, recalling how Cuban Link gave him the address to a restaurant instead of her home. It was casual, grounded, and reflective of a budding connection. By 2020, 50 opened up a bit more, sharing in an interview that they even created relationship vision boards to strengthen their bond, as it seemed like the couple was genuinely working on growth both individually and together, aiming for something solid. 50Y said in the interview that he was abstaining in order to concentrate on a new concept and didn't want to be distracted from it, which added to the intrigue that Cuban Link followers had already put together. Although neither 50 nor Cuban Link formally announced their breakup, it was evident that their paths had diverged. As is often the case with high-profile couples, the demands of their respective personal and professional lives appear to have contributed to their distance from one another in interviews. This comment stoked rumors that his business ambitions may have taken precedence over his relationship. When asked why he keeps aiming for more wealth without a significant other to share it with, 50 has frequently been open about why marriage isn't on his agenda. He explained how money affects relationships, admitting that romance can be a distraction, especially for men, and that he prefers to focus his energy on his goals. He even joked about not wanting to feel like a hostage tied down by a relationship, though he didn't completely rule out the possibility of finding love in the future. For now, however, his focus remains firmly on his ambitions. Behind 50 Cent's humor and confidence lies a story of resilience, as he was sentenced to 9 years in prison at the age of 19, and his relationship with Cuban Link may have ended. As 50 and Cuban Link continue, his commitment to directing his destiny and upholding his values remains unshakable.